In today's video, I'm going to share with you this recipe for hot buttered popcorn bread. I've never made this recipe before, but it sounded delicious. When you first put that in the on the dough hook, after the first minute or so, I thought, oh, that's never going to become soft and bouncy. But trust me, it does end up becoming a soft, bouncy dough. So then what you need to do, once it gets to this texture, see how it's bouncing back? You want to either leave it in the mixing bowl that you mixed it in, or transfer it to another bowl and spray the bowl with cooking spray. Spray the dough with cooking spray, or brush it with a little oil. You can either cover it with a towel or plastic wrap, but I like to cover mine with parchment paper. Then you stick this in a warm place, either on the back of your stove or inside your oven, with the oven turned off, of course, for an hour to an hour and a half until this dough is almost doubled. Dough has doubled in size, and you want to turn it out onto a lightly floured surface. And then you want to kind of deflate it gently. And then you're going to divide this dough in half because it's going to make 2 loaves. And I've got 2 loaf pans sprayed, and I'm just going to go ahead and form these 2 pieces of dough into loaves. you're going to make an egg wash to brush on the top of these loaves. You take 1 egg, a pinch of sugar. I have these little measuring spoons I got from work, and they also actually say pinch, smidgen, and dash. So a pinch of sugar and a pinch of salt. And then you're going to brush each loaf with this mixture. You're going to cover it again and let it rise again until almost double. 45 minutes to an hour. They have risen to almost double, and then you want to brush them again with the egg wash. I had it kept in the refrigerator because it's an egg after all. And I have the bread pan sitting on a baking sheet that's lined with parchment paper. I think that's so that the bottoms don't get too brown while it bakes. And then you just dust it with cornmeal. Now the oven has been preheating to 375 degrees, but as soon as you put these in the oven, you turn the temperature down to 350, and you bake it for 35 to 45 minutes or until it's golden brown. As soon as it comes out of the oven, then you want to baste it with some some melted butter. You let it then cool in the pan for about 10 minutes, and then put it out onto a wire rack to let it cool completely before you start to slice it. Now this bread didn't rise like in the typical rounded loaf shape that I was expecting, and that's probably because when I formed it, I kind of patted it out into the pan. I got in the habit of doing that with my Pullman pans that makes more like a loaf, like a sandwich loaf shape. I probably should have just left it in the rounded like log shape and put it in there, and then it would have rose in more of a rounded fashion. But I think they're really pretty, beautiful color. They smell so good. I wish you guys could smell it. When these are cooled and I slice them, I will give it a taste test for you. Here's the sliced bread. I put a little bit more of that melted butter on, dairy-free butter, of course. And I think it looks really good. It's nice and moist and squishy. I just wish it had risen more, and I'll have to just play around with this recipe and try to figure out what I did wrong. But I think next time I will make one big loaf of this in my Pullman pan, and I think it will rise more. Because when I was making this dough, I was kind of surprised it only was, or that it was for 2 loaves. I figured it would be for 1. So that might be why they didn't rise as high. Or who knows, bread is kind of fussy. So let me taste it and I'll let you know what I think. It is very good. Very, very good. Definitely has a popcorn flavor to it, and yet it's bread. So I would highly recommend that you give this recipe a try. Like I said, I'm going to do it again and see if I can get the dough to rise higher, because I like my bread to be thicker. But anyway, it's delicious. Thanks so much for watching this video today. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will talk to you later. Bye-bye.